Another day in the yard. Short trip to Lowe's, ended up being a little carried away. And we started seeing some plants. I went out there to get a hummingbird feeder for my kids, actually. I gotta put that together, that's over there. But we ended up going outside to look at plants, and we started saying, hey, let's just finish doing our shrubs, right? So here we are. The boxwoods, you can see I've already got those planted. I had 6 of those here. And then we bought some of these other guys, and I don't have all the technical names for them. I've been saving all the sheets in my back pocket here. So I got all the cards that I'm holding on to because they're from Lowe's. They have a year guarantee on them. And find me reaching in my back pocket here. There we go. So I've been going around planting those in, and I got a few more guys here. So you can see here, this guy, and then down over here. The other ones, they've been there for a couple of years now, and we had a rose bush, I put it back over here. It was a white knockout rose. And those, I've dug that one up already twice. And it might not do very well this season, but at least they come back. You can't kill those things. I got 2 of them sitting right here on both sides of that evergreen there. And they do good. I just keep whacking them back and they keep coming. So, you know, what I'm doing here though, that I wanted to talk to you about is the actual planting. So as you can see down here, I've got some of the weed fabric that I'd put down when I dug all this out initially. There was nothing here. It was all grass right up to the edge, and it looks kind of nasty now, but this is in progress. My goal here is to get all of the plants in, dig out this stuff, because like I said, right now, you see here, this is what was the mulch layer. You can see it's sitting right on top of this. This is all the mulch. I have some nasty, thick red rock clay soil underneath to deal with. So, but all this is going to get put into a pile, moved into the backyard, because I'm going to have all of this done over concrete, and then those areas filled with like 3-4 inch river rounds. So I just wanted to walk you through kind of some of the planting that I'm doing and some of the methods I use when I plant. So I'm going to get into some of that now. Stay tuned. All right, so these guys, these are the lemon thread false cypresses. So these are just kind of fill-in shrubs. They don't get too tall, too wide, but I'm putting them right in between the boxwoods, and I'll keep everything trimmed up nice because you can keep cutting these back. But what I've done is I've taken off the top layer of soil. I cut around a circle for the weed block. Like I said, I'm going to clear all this out down to the weed block eventually, and then fill it all in with stone. And then on top of there, I threw in, let me back up a little bit. I make the hole wider than the pot. You know, they always tell you 2 times as wide. So, you know, I go out a couple inches from the diameter. And I go a little bit deep. I go enough so that if you put that in the ground as is, the plant is it's sitting below the level. And then what I do is I dress it underneath. I was going to get some of the sphagnum, some of the peat moss, brick of that for like $11. That stuff you're supposed to kind of put it in a line around. What I actually found, it was a little bit cheaper. I think it was only $8 for a bag. Is this stuff here. This is Stay Green. It's tree and shrub soil, but it actually has feed in it as well. So you can see there is 2 cubic feet, feeds up for 9 months. So it's a soil with some fertilizer thrown into it, and you can see kind of looks like a mulch material. It's got a little bit of peat in it, but it looks clean, smells good. And so I'm trying some of this. So I throw a scoop down on the bottom there. I put the plant in. I use my good dirt around the top, and then this stuff here I'm going to end up putting in a wheelbarrow and just starting my pile in the back. So that's where we start off, and next I'm going to show you what I do when I take that out, so I don't just take it and drop it in. So let's get into that. Do a little different view here. So got the pot, I get my hands wedged underneath here. This isn't rocket science by any means yet again, but usually there's a hole at the bottom of here, and I just grab that, slides right out. If it doesn't, I just hold it and I just do a fist around it just to kind of break it free. That works pretty well. Next thing I do is I don't just drop this in, because this is a nice kind of clumpy root ball. I want these roots to be able to breathe and extend. So what I actually do is I use this guy here. This is one of my favorite garden tools. It's got a little hatchet on one side and then the claw on the other. It's short handle. And then this, I just kind of go around and just break up that soil ball so that these roots can resettle and breathe and extend. So I go around it, and then I go right on the bottom here, and I just kind of And you could feel it. I mean, you don't have to go crazy, but you feel when you start punching into it, it starts loosening up quite a bit. And then that's it. And I got all this extra material right here, so I'll just push that right in the hole too. And there you go. And then you set your guy down, make him nice and loose, because what you're gonna do now is obviously make sure he's lined up where you want him, make sure everything looks good. And then, like I said, I'll grab the black soil, I'll pack it around, and we'll step on it, pack it down, and keep working our way. I'll show you that one next. So we raked a little bit of that in. I used the claw and just kind of pulled it in, shoveled it around. And now what I do is I just kind of lightly step around. Just gently around the edge. And you can start to feel where it's kind of packed and where it needs a little extra. And then I'm just gonna go around and throw a little bit more on top, do another step around. Just make sure it's all nice and settled. That's it. It's another one down out of 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be 5. And I still have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So not a rush process. It's not something I go through pretty quick, but next then after that we got to water it all in. All right, that was a short one. Maybe short for the video, but not for me. Spent a few hours out here kind of just making sure this is all set up. So as you can see, got everything planted over here. I did a staggered setup of the boxwoods with the cypress. All the other guys are on the far end there, and all of this dirt and mud pit goes away in the next couple weeks, thank God. And got all the tools cleaned up, hosed everything down, and I did happen to make a swing by when I was at Lowe's, and I got 2 of these. I already had one that's about halfway, but I did grab 2 of these. This is the Spectracide right there. Spectracide weed stop for lawns, crabgrass killer, takes care of yellow nut sedge, blah, blah, blah. Good to go. Next step for me though is when it dries up a little bit is to get some of this down on some of the moss areas. So that was it. Oh, and back up in there, you can probably see those 2 guys there. I'm not doing much over here this year. My garden is kind of taking a back seat because I'm doing a lot of other things. Like I said, I got the playscape going in over here, and we'll make sure we get that on film as well, so you can see that fun process, the little neighborhood project. But I did clean this up a little bit. I threw in a couple of raspberry bushes. We have wild ones that grow right here and down in the back, and I'll pick from those, but kids love them, so we're gonna get them in here and let them do their thing. The garlic is the only other thing from last year, and that's doing really well. You can see that right there. So I'm hoping to get a lot of good garlic out of this, so I could take maybe half of these cloves next year, plant those bulbs, and then double over. So the next probably 3 to 4 seasons, I'm gonna keep doubling and doubling. Before you know it, I'll have, I don't know, 100 cloves or so of garlic going, which will be nice that I can save a couple of those, give them out to people if they need them. But that's it. Like I said, I'm not doing a lot with this spring because this is coming down and I'm moving it over there for the following year. But months away from that, rock. Not want rocks getting run over by our tractor. Anyway, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and stick around. More to come this season. Take care.